work for a secret government organization. I just saw something I wasn't supposed to see. I work for a company with no name. Every employee is labeled with a number, and everyone must wear a mask at all times. Our job could be summarized as an international cleanup crew. Whenever a government official somewhere messes up, we're sent to figure out a solution, and whenever a scientist makes some horrible mistake, we get everything back under control. I just never could have predicted the horrifying reality that my next mission would lead to. Loyalty towards the company is everything, so the penalties have to be high, but the benefits are well worth it. Each of us is given a special credit card that can buy us anything we want. Everything is practically free. The only limit is that we don't draw attention to ourselves, and you can probably guess the punishment for that. Also, we have access to almost any place on the planet, without any questions asked. Even talking about the existence of this company is considered treason in 90% of the world's countries. But what I have to share, let's just say if I started telling people in person, they would all be forgotten by morning. A few years back, I was called into France with my partner. Some wannabe university student was running experiments on a homemade particle collider. Her mission was to prove the existence of strange matter. Strange matter is a theoretical type of atom composed of different quarks. In theory, it would be much more stable than any other type of matter in existence, and could transform anything else it interacted with into more strange matter, causing a chain reaction that would destroy everything. It wouldn't matter how much you had. If it were to come into contact with anything, everything is done for. Now, the reason strange matter is labeled as theorized is because it would be nearly impossible to prove its existence. The energy needed to create it would be far more than enough to immediately destroy it. But this kid found a solution. I'm not sure what she did, but she managed to create an atom of strange matter using low energy conditions and stabilize it inside a magnetic field. We were quickly called in, though, because the girl didn't think past her praise. Once rumor spread, there was a Class B mission I was sent on. She had contained the atom inside a small glass vacuum tube with heavy magnets on both ends. The problem was that she had to use electrical magnets. If the power were to stop for any amount of time, the atom would touch the side of the glass, and all matter contained on this planet would be altered, turning everything into some alien liquid. It was weird to see the thing that could so easily devastate an entire planet, but we had work to do. Me and my partner had many possible solutions, but the rules we had to follow made the task impossible. First, we could not move the vacuum tube in case of disrupting the magnetic field. Secondly, at no time could the magnets be turned off. And third, nothing with a strong magnetic field could come anywhere close to the thing. We actually never found a solution. The best one was to build a fusion chamber around the tube, but no one thought we could do it without disrupting the magnetic field. In the end, we had to return with a problem that we couldn't solve. The company put the entire university on quarantine and built an entire facility in an attempt to contain the lone molecule. The problem wasn't fixed, but its severity was lowered to a Class D. Every time a storm would appear in the area, the threat was raised to Class A, and everyone was directed to work on a solution. Of course, there was none. There still isn't one. Huge underground tunnels were dug to hold batteries, just in case of a storm knocking out the power, but that was as far as we could go. The issue was nicknamed Pandora's Box, and the strange matter was dubbed the world virus. Then, a few years later, the area experienced an earthquake. A multitude of errors shut down the backup power systems, and the entire facility was forced to evacuate. I was on a vacation with my family at the time when I received a call on my work phone. There was some code involved explaining the matter, and I immediately knew what was going on. They didn't ask anything of me, just that I made the best of the next few moments. A large wave had traveled up the coast and knocked out the power. The strange matter was no longer contained. As I listened to that chilling message, panic gripped my chest like a vice. The world had just become a ticking time bomb, and I was the only one who knew it. If there was ever a solid case of a miracle, it would be whatever the hell has held that thing in its place for the last 3 years. We have no idea why we're not all dead, but it is an international law to stay away from the location these days. At any time, the unknown force keeping the strange matter at bay could stop. Or worse, someone else might create more. I firmly believe we will not survive another person producing any more strange matter. Our luck will run out. I won't be around to see it, but it scares me nonetheless. For the next few nights, I couldn't sleep. It brought my family's vacation to a halt. I still have some sleepless nights, turning in my bed to the thought of all of history disappearing. When people are close to death, the thing they fear most is being forgotten. I would like it if no one remembered me. That way, when everything disappears, I have nothing to worry about.